So, you've figured out that you should become an educational content creator. You've picked your niche. You're now a YouTuber. What kind of videos should you be making? This is a very important question because obviously this indicates how much success you're going to have in the YouTube industry. Now, I will say all of this depends on your niche that you have picked. It's different for every niche. So the type of content that goes good in the gym space is not necessarily good for the health and beauty, section, despite them both being in the health niche. But anyways, I digress. When it comes to the type of content you should be making, you specifically want to make educational type content. When you are a YouTuber, you're obviously going to be making videos. But all of this is in service of your niche. So like I said, it's specific, but as a general rule, you want to make educational type of content where you're teaching the audience about something in your niche. So, for example, if you're in the fitness industry, there's so much content you can make. You can make physique reveals, you can make memes, jokes, stuff like that, skits. But the type of content that goes the most viral and that will consistently keep you in the game for the long run is educational type of content. This is beneficial on so many levels. Because what we're trying to do is educate people. You always keep that in mind. Remember, you're trying to teach people about your niche, about how to get into it, the struggles that come with it, so things like that. So if you're educating people on your content, it's always going to perform well. Now, not all content performs well, even in the educational space. Like I said, that's not a contradiction. Because the algorithm now, the way that YouTube and TikTok and all of these websites work, with all these apps work, these platforms, is that the algorithm is very random. Now, certain trends do take off, and the algorithm does reward you for posting consistently every day. But there are specific types of content and things that you can make that will go well with certain audiences. When I first started my TikTok account, I was posting fitness videos. The videos that performed the most well in this were always when I was teaching something. So if it was how to do incline push-up, decline push-ups, how to do different workouts, those would always perform really well. Now, sometimes they would do okay. But I will say, when I broke up my schedule to post like a funny skit that I planned out, it wouldn't really do as well. It would be kind of off-putting. And you can make that sort of content. If you make your whole page about that, stick to that. But it's more likely that you're going to stick in it for the long run if you just keep in mind that you are the teacher and you're making content that will teach your audience about something. That is the best way to stay in the long run. Now, I will say, you should make content that you like. And that is another rule, where you should be making content that you would want to watch. So there's probably a style that you're thinking of that you really like on TikTok, short form, long form, doesn't matter. And even with long form videos like this, like on YouTube, they do really well when you are teaching someone about something. I've gotten a lot of comments where some people will critique what I'm doing and say my physique's not that good or I'm not that fast. But what you can't deny is information. And this is another reason, another notch in the book. That's why educational content creation is the best job. Because being a teacher is kind of irrefutable. You can't really get mad at someone for teaching someone else. And this doesn't matter at any level. If you're posting a video on how to do a push-up, even if it's to help single moms in their 40s or fat guys in their 60s, that's helping someone, right? So, yes, I have gotten a lot of hate comments, but you realize when you see the comments, like on some videos, I say, oh, bro's not that fast, because it was a video of me running. And that makes sense. But on some videos, when I'm talking about, how to do a pull-up, there's some guy trying to hate. And then people just reply to the comments, being like, what are you talking about? Because you're almost bulletproof. You can't really win if you try to attack me. I'm just teaching you about something, right? Just because they're not on your level doesn't mean I'm not teaching. So that's another thing to keep in mind. Whereas, let's go over them again. Another thing to keep in mind is to make educational content that will be bulletproof, because people aren't really gonna hate. Now, people will always hate, but not really like that if it's just educational. Like if I make a video about how to pour water in a cup, what are the hate comments gonna be? He did it wrong? No, not really. Not if you do it right. Let's go over again. You have your niche. You now know what you need to do. You need to keep in mind that you are an educator. You are a teacher. And this is your school. So think of your audience as your class. You are the teacher, and they're the audience. Number 2 was make content that you would enjoy. So make the sort of content that you would watch, that you would like. Imagine you're recording videos for younger you. You're making content to teach people who are new in your niche, in your space. Let's say it's fitness, let's say it's skiing, let's say it's sewing. You're teaching new people in your niche. So keep that in mind. And number 3 is this will not deter you. You won't really get a lot of hate for it if you do it properly and if you remain a teacher to people and show them the way. You are their guide, and the audience are your class. They are your students. Now keep in mind, that's how. Now go out there, make some YouTube videos, and subscribe to stay in the loop, in the know. And I will be releasing Project 30 very soon. Alright? Link in the description down below. Alright? Oh, and subscribe to my TikTok, where I add extra educational content.